Hello everyone, welcome live to 3Y TV, tonight's broadcast of the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit here on the channel. I'm Peter Short, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage here tonight around the famed Bristol Motor Speedway. Definitely going to be one fun race. It is the season finale for the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit here and their modified 358 series here as we tear up the dirt here on the world's fastest half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway, Bristol, Tennessee, located in and amongst the mountains. And this is a really cool racetrack to see from the air, all dirted up for tonight's race. It is the season finale, and with that comes championship implications on the line here tonight. Let's see if we can go down and see if we can get a quick word with some of the people here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. And let's see if we can dial up Chris Westerhausen and bring him up into the booth to see if he can have a little bit of the interaction with the chat. Chris Westerhausen, Peter Short, 3Y TV booth. You got a moment? Well, let's try that one more time. Chris Westerhausen, Peter Short, 3Y TV booth. You got a moment? Well, maybe he doesn't have a moment. We'll move him back, and maybe we'll see if we can drag him up here in just a little bit as we are here in the practice session. Let's see if we can bring up the timing and scoring up at the top of the screen for all of you folks. It is currently the number 98 machine of Wade Burris, fastest in the session so far. In fact, you can see the racetrack has gone very quiet here. It almost looks like there aren't any race cars at all here at Bristol Motor Speedway. There they all are sitting on pit road just about to end the session. We have 14 cars here tonight for the season finale here in the series. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining us in the chat. We got Engravy in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying the live action here. Hopefully you can sit back, relax, and watch what we have going on for here, because we have two heat races here tonight. Let's see if we can bring up the grid for heat number one. We'll pull that up. It is Nicholas Lamb who will be starting in the first position. Jason Butterfield to his outside in the number 93. Oliver Golding, Anthony Karff, Dustin Lamb, Justin Jones, and Wade Burris to round out heat number one. So we will see those cars get all out there onto the field, and they will do battle here to try and set the starting lineup for tonight's feature race. Feature race here tonight, a little bit longer than what we have seen over the last couple of weeks here in the series. It is going to be 75 laps around Bristol Motor Speedway here tonight as we get these cars rolling. As they head towards turn number one, he'll be a 10-lap heat race. We do expect them to go by pretty quickly. This is the world's fastest half-mile. Bristol Motor Speedway, known for its stock car races, but they've recently added dirt to the circuit to add dirt racing. And we saw this year the NASCAR series return to dirt for the first time in many, many, many moons. And I gotta say, it was a lot of fun to see them turn around Bristol Motor Speedway and tear it up. And hopefully we can see more dirt racing in NASCAR. And the reason I say that, because dirt racing really has a fantastic following throughout the United States. And you have a dirt track in, I'd say, probably every 100 to 200 miles apart from one another, even in the most barren states, except for probably Alaska and Hawaii. But nonetheless, dirt racing has quite a following, and really would be great to see more of it on TV, because they put on a much better show than what you see every Sunday on Fox and NBC. But nonetheless, we got this action here tonight. Nicholas Lamb, who's been very, very quick in the number 5 machine. He's had some rotten luck here as of late in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Can he shake that off here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway? Pace truck heads down pit road. We are about to go green. You see the 358s all lurch up into the air. We're green flag, 10 laps here in this heat race. No caution flags. If something happens, we will not see a caution flag in the heat race. We will see it in the feature race, and it is Nicholas Lamb and Jason Butterfield. Butterfield going to go to the inside here through turn number 3 and 4. There is the number 93 machine coming out of turn number 4. He's going to try and go for the race lead. Not able to do so. Lamb trying to hold tough on the outside line, trying to use that cushion. You can see that built up dirt on the top side, up there, just where it kind of transitions to the darker brown. You can find some grip up there. You can kind of ride up against that bump. They call that riding the cushion. And you almost use it as just a little bit extra banking. There's the number 13, Oliver Golding, third place right now. Last time by was the fastest car out there on the racetrack. Anthony Karf in the number 90 is there in fourth. Justin Jones is in fifth. So far, these drivers keeping it nice and clean. Wade Burris in sixth. And currently your last car in heat number 1 is Dustin Lamb, currently in seventh in the number 10 machine. Back out front, there is Nicholas Lamb. Let's see if we can reset this live timing and scoring for you folks. It just doesn't seem to like the first heat for some reason with this graphics package. I don't really know why it is, but it definitely doesn't. But currently the number 37 has 5 on the side of that car. A little bit confusing. He has the race lead, but Jason Butterfield in the 93 in second, doing all he can to try and get that race lead. There they are out of turn number 2. That 93 just trying to find a little bit of grip. Let's see if we can go on board with the number 93 machine as he tries to find himself a way to get to the race lead. Here we go on board. Get a look at that, the hand action on board. You see no wing mirrors on these cars. Yeah, they don't have an opportunity to see out back. They have to really watch their surroundings as they get sideways through the corners. And remember, I mentioned Oliver Golding was the fastest car on track a couple of laps ago. He's closed in on Jason Butterfield. This is now going to be a battle for second as Nicholas Lamb in the number 5 seems like he has got that high line figured out. The 13 on the inside groove trying to slide. We have an accident on the bow. We got 2 cars upside down, the number 98 and the 73 of Justin Jones. And it looks like both of those cars are toast. They will both take a tow back to pit row, but Butterfield holds on to second. We're coming to the white flag in heat number 1 here. Going by very quickly. The number 13, Oliver Golding, right there, running the top side. He's going to try and find a little bit of grip up there in the dirt. Kind of jump the cushion a little bit. Now, the NASCAR track, it does have progressive banking. The dirt track does not. Coming out of turn number 4, it will be Nicholas Lamb to win heat number 1. So he is going to get the prizes and the spoils that go along with winning heat number 1. Let's see if we can bring up the heat number 1 results, because we weren't unfortunately able to get the ticker to work in heat number 1 for whatever reason. So here they should be coming up right here. Nicholas Lamb, Jason Butterfield, Oliver Golding, Anthony Karf in 4th, Dustin Lamb in 5th, Justin Jones in 6th, and Wade Burris in 7th. Your last 2 cars involved in an accident, ending up upside down. And unfortunately for them, they were unable to finish heat number 1, but we will see them in the feature race here in just a moment. Let's see if we can go down to the starting lineup for heat number 2. Just jump straight into that. Merle Garing, the 4th, will be starting in 1st. Jeremy Folkerts in 2nd. Jordan LaFawn in 3rd. Kurt Burns in 4th. Caleb O'Gwin 5th. And Eric Bisline in 6th. So it looks like 13 cars here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, set to do battle in the season finale here in the 358 Modifieds in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Big shout out to Illicit Designs for sponsoring the series this year. And looks like this car is about to get rolling here in heat number 2. Let's see if the ticker has decided to play nice and neatly. See, it works for heat number 2. There's just something about heat number 1 that it does not like, and I'm wondering if maybe it's because there's no qualifying session and it kind of gets tripped up. That might be the case. Of course, no qualifying in the 358 Modifieds. That's pretty typical in the United States. They typically have what they call hot laps instead of really doing qualifying, and different places do different ways to set the field for the heat. Some do it based off of your best times in your hot laps. Some do averages. They really can do different things. So gonna be interesting to see how this is all gonna shake out. Merle Garing, the 4th, in the number 6 on the inside. Jeremy Folkerts in the 12 to his outside. Jordan LaFawn, Kurt Burns, row number 2, and Caleb O'Gwin and Eric Bisline. And then, of course, we're going to bring them all together for the 75 lap feature here tonight. The Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Garing just waiting to go green. Let's see if we can jump on board with one of these drivers for the start here tonight. Let's see if we can go on board with driver of the number 9 machine. Here we go, on board with Kurt Burns, waiting to see the green flag. And oh no, the 12 machines just all of a sudden appeared in front of him, and Jeremy Folkerts has gone around right here at the start of heat number 2. And nothing there that Kurt Burns could have done. You really couldn't even see that number 12 machine. And it looks like Folkerts has jumped to pit road with his connection issues, but that has allowed Merle Garing to scoot away just a little bit. So the number 6 machine leads here. Jordan LaFawn and Kurt Burns in that battle for second. LaFawn has been very quick in the number 11 machine here over the last couple of weeks here in the Illicit Designs circuit, so I'm keeping my eyes on him here tonight at Bristol. Kurt Burns back behind him in the kind of the bright yellow and gray machine. That number 9 is very typical to a car that you see out there on a lot of short tracks in the United States. They always like to bring out the neon for the dirt cars. They just always do, because it really makes them pop in the night. Typically not all too many day races. And you have a lot of cars that are black, and you just throw on some neon green or neon yellow, and it makes them pop quite a bit for the sponsors. As you see Kurt Burns there getting a little bit sideways. At the back there, you see Caleb O'Gwyn leading Eric Bisline. That is 4th and 5th. But Jordan LaFawn starting to lay some pressure on Merle Garing, the 4th, as we'll have 5 laps to go in heat number 2. This time by folks. And a little bit of contact. Kurt Burns in the number 9 machine laying it on the back bumper of the number 11. As Kurt Burns right there going to have to try and reel back in the number 6. But I'm thinking here that maybe Merle Garing might be holding up Jordan LaFawn just a little bit, as LaFawn gets a run coming out of turn number 4 onto the inside, not able to do anything with it. That middle portion of the racetrack, folks, is looking very, very slick. Doesn't really seem like you can find a lot of grip there. So all these drivers kind of favoring this high line right now. We'll have to see whether or not that holds true as the night goes on. That is one of the nice things about iRacing and this dirt in iRacing, is the racetrack does change. It will, as you start to run a line, you will start to lose that dirt. You'll start to lose the grip that these dirt tires need underneath them, and we'll see them get more and more sideways, and we'll also start to see them venture to certain parts of the racetrack. I'm really surprised I'm not seeing anyone really try and hook the inside here in heat number 2. It just seems like maybe it slicked up a little bit too much down there. White flag is in the air. Everyone kind of running this middle to upper groove. And it looks like Jordan LaFawn not going to be able to get on past Merle Garing, as that number 6 machine looks like he's going to take it to victory lane in heat number 2. Comes out of turn number 4, no pressure out back. And indeed he does. Takes the checkered flag. A single file here as we will jump into the feature race here in just a brief moment. Let's see if we can bring up, however, before we get to the starting lineup for tonight's, before we get to the starting lineup, let's see if we can bring up the heat number 2 results right there. It is Merle Garing the 4th, Jordan LaFawn, Kurt Burns, Caleb O'Gwyn 1st through 4th, Eric Bisline going to come across the line in 5th. Your top 5 separated by just under 2.5 seconds, and Jeremy Folkerts there had that connection issues right at the start. We'll see whether or not he is going to be out there in the next feature race. In fact, we're also going to be curious to know if he's going to be out there in what we have for you right now, because we actually have a consolation race, and this is going to be 15 laps, and we're going to start to see some of these drivers. Now, all these drivers I do believe will make it into the feature race here tonight. Don't think anyone will miss, but this will set the last few grid rows for the feature race tonight. We did have the opportunity of having up to 4 heats. We are only going to have 2 heats tonight, and this being the consolation event, last chance qualifier, if you will, although they've all qualified for the feature race here tonight. So the 10, the 92, the 73, and the 98 are all out there. We'll just very quickly bring up the grid here for this. Dustin Lamb, Eric Bissline, Justin Jones, and Wade Burris. Jeremy Folkert's in the number 12. He's not out there on the racetrack, so take first, second, third, and fifth. Plop them all out there. We got 4 cars, 15 laps. And we'll have to see whether or not they can keep this clean and green. I do believe that there are caution flags active here in the consolation last chance qualifier. We will see. This could be the B main. Some people call it the B main. Get your way from the B main into the A main, but pace truck is on pit road. We'll call it the B main. Why not? Green flag is in the air, and the number 10 machine is down and away. And again, the ticker not playing all too kind, folks, and I'm not really sure why that is, but the number 92, Eric Bissline, is going to take his machine up to the front. We'll see whether or not that live timing and scoring decides to fix itself or not here in just a minute. But Bissline leads, Dustin Lamb in second, Wade Burris in third, and Justin Jones in fourth. Let's go on board with one of these machines. Why don't we go on board right now with Justin Jones in his machine? Notice, oh my goodness, Dustin Lamb is going up and over. And just as we go on board with one car goes around. And that number 10 machine is going to be really tore up. Let's see if we can bring up that ticker. That ticker works, but then this ticker decides to nah. It does not work at all. So let's see if we can just jump over to this sticker. There we go. That should work temporarily. Big credit there to SDK Gaming, who is the product that we work. So I blame SDK, not us. Wade Burris, Justin Jones, they're locked into battle there for the second position, I should say. Justin Jones in that third position right now, as Dustin Lamb, he still out there on the racetrack now, 10 seconds behind your race leader. But what I wanted to bring up when we jumped on board with one of these machines is just how fast they're whipping their way around this racetrack. Over 100 miles an hour. They dropped down to about 95 in the middle of the corner, back up onto the straightaway, almost 120 there before getting off into turn number 1. Here, these things are fast, folks. They're lightweight. You can see they're very small chassis. They have big engines. They have 358 cubic inch, but at the same time, there's not a lot to them. There's not a whole lot of weight to them. They're not a sprint car, that's for sure, but at the same time, they're not a full stock car. So they can get around this dirt very, very quickly. They're designed to get around very quickly. You can see how much stagger is in the car. You can see the right side tires are bigger than the left side tires. These things are meant to go fast, and it is very, very impressive to see these drivers here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit whip their way around the racetrack as we now come to just 6 laps to go here in the B main. Eric Bissline starting to walk away now up to just about a second. Justin Jones might have just caught the wall there in turn number 1 and 2 as he jumped the cushion a little bit. The cushion is that dark line, that dark brown up there on the top side of the racetrack. It's just built up dirt up there, and sometimes you can do it to just de-wedge your car a little bit, just get around the corner a little bit, but sometimes you can almost smack it like a wall and it just straightens out your car. It's a very fine line. You can find a lot of speed up there, but at the same time, it can go wrong for you very quickly. Eric Bissline here, speaking of going wrong, he's actually been losing a little bit of time to Burris behind him. You can see that gap had grown to quite a bit, almost a second, about 9/10 of a second. Now it's almost back to about half a second, and this time down to about 4/10 of a second. So Bissline definitely losing that lead to Burris, and now he's jumped the cushion going up to the top side of the racetrack. But he was able to get a good launch out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. So as I say that, looks like for right now, he's actually going to maybe gain a couple hundredths that last time. Just 2 laps to go in the B main. And what can he do? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at these different lines here in turn number 3. Bissline running right up against the wall there in turn number 3. Let's get a look in turn number 1 as the white flag is waving here on the session. Van Bissline, fantastic running that top line right there. Off into turn number 3. This will be the final time into turn number 3. And the number 98 sends it. It's a Burris. He sent it down there, but not able to do anything. And it will be Eric Bissline that wins the B main here over Burris by just 16 hundredths of a second. And now we're going to go over into the feature race tonight. Big shout out to Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Thanks for having us here on 3 Wide TV. Let's see if we can bring up the starting grid for the feature race here tonight. Just 13 cars out here. Nicholas Lamb, Merle Garing on your front row. So the 37 who has number 5 on that car. Merle Garing to his outside. So those were your 2 heat winners earlier on. They're going to start 1-2. Jason Butterfield and Jordan LaFawn will be on row number 2. Oliver Golding and Kurt Burns on row number 3. Behind them, Anthony Karff, Caleb O'Gwyn. That'll be row number 4. Eric Bissline just popped in, just won the B main right there. He'll be starting in 9th. Wade Burris starting 10th. Justin Jones and Dustin Lamb will be rounding out your 12 cars. And the one car that was set to start 13th, Jeremy Folkerts, has retired his entry here tonight. So it'll be 12 cars here, 75 laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway. It should go by in a hurry, although caution flags do count. We've yet to see, well, I say that, we've seen 2 accidents so far that would presumably bring out a caution flag. We had an accident in heat number 1 between a couple of cars that ended up coming together. We also saw Jeremy Folkerts go around right at the beginning of heat number 2. And in the B main, we saw one car get up on its side. That, of course, driven by Dustin Lamb. So we'll see. That will bring out yellows. They do have fast repairs. And if you're not familiar with the fast repair term, it means that they can come down pit road and use a repair on their car to get it back to full strength. They do have a couple of those, so they do have that at their disposal here tonight to try and make it all 75 laps. But I think the big question here on this race start is going to be which line is going to prevail. We've seen that high line extremely strong in both heat races and the B main, but we did see the number. Who was that? That wasn't the number 92. That was the number 73 if Justin Jones used that low line in that last race. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Wade Burris also used that lower line in the B main. Green flag gonna wave, and we are back racing. And oh, the 10 machine, Dustin Lamb in the wall once again, already on the start. Good news is he's able to keep it going. But we're trying to sort things out. Look at this, almost 3 or 4 wide up at the front of the field. It is Nicholas Lamb on the inside. Merle Garing in the 6 to the outside. Are they going to make contact? No, they're not. Look at the number 11, Jordan LaFawn. He's side by side with Jason Butterfield. Butterfield trying to find some grip. Merle Garing and Nicholas Lamb almost coming together there, coming out of turn number 2. And look at this. You could throw a blanket over your front 4 as we're working lap number 2. LaFawn's got himself to the outside of Garing. And here comes the number 9 of Kurt Burns as Burns gets put into the wall. He's going to have to rebound from that. That's allowed Oliver Golding to get up into the 5th position. Can't count out Oliver Golding here, as we're hearing that we might have had an incident. Wade Burris there. Indeed we have. Caution flag is out for the first time here tonight. Let's see what all happened. Let's see here on the 3 Wide TV replay. Keep our eyes on the number 9 machine. So he goes into the outside wall there. We saw that, but did something else happen to the number 9 machine? He clips the wall, gets up into the wall, contact with a 25, and oh my goodness, they all go tumbling in. That was a pretty big accident. There was contact there. Caleb O'Gwyn was involved. Let's see what happened. That's up at the front of the field. We know what happened there. Let's go back and get another look at this from a little bit further back. Go on board here with Caleb O'Gwyn. Let's go on board. And we're going to put this down into the 3-wide TV slow motion cam. So you can see Burns in the wall, in the wall, in the wall. There's the contact. And look at the number 90 Anthony Karf coming in there. The number 98 Wade Burris coming in as well. Heavy, heavy contact to those cars. So we know that they will have to use a fast repair to get those cars patched up. Because one thing about these cars is because they are open wheel, they really don't have, a high tolerance for damage. You can smack them off the wall quite a bit, but you can see that was the initial contact there. In fact, I think it was maybe the number 93 that made contact with the 9. And unfortunately, the number 9 gets in the wall, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. You can see a big smack there from Justin Jones as he went on by. But Jason Butterfield, I think, is the one who originally made contact with Kurt Burns. We'll get another look at this one kind of from the outside cam. And, yep, there was that contact. And unfortunately, it kind of snowballed from there. But the initial contact was kind of no harm, no foul, I think, until the wall contact kind of made things quite a bit worse. But we're working lap number 4 of 5. There's Kurt Burns right now in the number 9 machine. Live timing and scoring usually takes a little bit to adapt because of the fact that these people are under caution. So I'm sure iRacing will get that all squared away here in just a moment. Let's go check out the chat. Anthony Karf saying everyone will transfer racing for position. Yep. Ice Cream Man has a new wrap on his body. Let's take a look at that number 90 machine. I noticed that number 90 had a new look this week. There it is. Got an ice cream cone on it. There you see it. Anthony Karf right there, the number 90 machine, currently running inside the top 10 as we are about to go back green. Green flag in the air. They're bumping, they're banging, they're banging, they're bumping. And they get things all going straight there. Merle Garing there rubbing fenders with a couple of the other cars as we head off down the backstretch now. They've finally laid off of one another. That's good news. You see Oliver Golding there on the inside, though. He's possibly getting into the inside of Jordan LaFawn, but LaFawn able to scoot away down the front stretch. LaFawn is currently in the second position. Not sure why Kurt Burns is being scored as the race leader, but we'll just have to wait for live timing and scoring to get that all figured out. But it is currently Nicholas Lamb in the number 5 machine out front. Jordan LaFawn in second. There he is. Oliver Golding in the number 13. He's currently being scored in third. Then you have Merle Garing, who is in the 5th position, giving a little bit of a nudge to the number 13 there. As, side by side back there, look at Wade Burris. We saw him in the last chance qualifier. Gives a bumpity bump. And oh my goodness, Burris is Butterfield, that's upside down. And caution flag is going to wave once again. Second caution flag of the night. We'll see what happened right here. Let's see if we can look out front here from the number 92 machine. And it all happened in front. The number 93, Jason Butterfield, 3 wide. I thought that was Burris, but Burris is in the number 98 down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Butterfield gets into the back of Caleb O'Gwin, and the 93 has to check up. Good job there by O'Gwin to save the number 25 machine, but the 10 gets into the back, and look at Anthony Karf trying to submarine underneath the upside down number 93. You see Kurt Burns getting involved. There comes Eric Bisline in the number 92 getting involved. Pretty much the back half of the field all getting a piece of that one in one way or another. Let's see if we can figure out. Let's go on board with Jason Butterfield here. It's always fun to get the gyro cam a workout here on 3-Wide TV. There's the number 25 machine, and there's the contact, there's the contact from behind, and up and over. You don't want to see the ground. You really don't. It's always a bad sight when you're looking out front. You can see the dirt in one of these 358 modifieds, but they all drive away, and they do have fast repairs, so they will be able to get everything all sorted out. So we'll get all that live timing and scoring updated for you, but we're back under caution flag for the second time here tonight. Nicholas Lamb in the number 5 machine. There he is. It looked like we were green flag there for a moment, but we were not, as he was just trying to catch up to the iRacing pace truck. I think we had to sort something out there under this caution flag in regards to the session. So, just to highlight you folks coming into tonight, Austin Kroger, who is not here tonight, is actually the points leader in this series. Eric Bistline, second place in points, quite a few points back, about 45 points behind Austin Kroger. A possible outside shot at the title here tonight. But Edward Abbott, third in points here. He's not here tonight. Corey Cussler tied for third place in points. He's also not here tonight. Chris Eberly, fifth place in points, not here tonight. Jordan LaFawn is here tonight, and LaFawn trying to pick up his third win of the season in the 358s. So that's a look at the point standings, but a lot of the people up there in the point standings not on the racetrack tonight. Austin Kroger not out there. Edward Abbott not out there. Corey Cussler's not out there. Eric Bistline, the only driver who's up there in the top 3 in points on the racetrack tonight, which is a bit of a shame here in the season finale. We probably won't even get to talk with our season champion, although we'll have to confirm that. Whether or not Eric Bistline, perhaps maybe if he can get a win, maybe then he'd be able to walk away the champion. But it'll be kind of a tall order here tonight, as it seems like the number 5 of Nicholas Lamb has been very, very quick and on the loud pedal once again as the green flag waves. And look at Oliver Golding, that number 13 machine. Ooh, there was a little bit of neck code there as the number 11 of Jordan LaFawn just got shot up the racetrack. And wrong place, wrong time for the number 11 machine, as he's going to fall now down to the 5th position. Look at Wade Burris. He came in from the B main as there's contact between the 25, and the 25 goes around Caleb O'Gwyn, and there's contact back behind him, and Butterfield's on his roof again, as well as your second place in points, Eric Bistline. And caution flag is going to come out again, and unfortunately for Jason Butterfield, he's going to have to take a tow back to pit road. But it all happened when the 25 machine started to go around. Let's see if we can get that replay lined up for you. Here we go. So we're going to put it here onto the 3-wide TV slow motion right here, because you can see on the left side of your screen the 10 of Dustin Lamb makes contact with the number 25 machine of Caleb O'Gwyn. O'Gwyn tries to save it. You can see him trying to wiggle that 25 machine all back and forth, but 25 heavy hit there from Butterfield, and Butterfield going to go up into the outside wall here, and he just gets ramped up into the wall, thrown up over there, as does Eric Bistline, and both of those cars go upside down. Anthony Carfin, the number 90, making contact there with the number 9 of Kurt Burns, and they both have a little bit of a half spin. They get things back going. So let's get one more look at this one, folks, because this is going to be one where we're going to have to figure it out once more. Here we go. Lining up this replay for you. Let's keep our eyes on the number 93 machine right here, because there's a contact bottom of your screen, and the 25 just trying to save it. 93 nowhere to go. Gets launched up, thrown upside down. You see Kurt Burns down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, and the number 5 having a half spin. But unfortunately, Butterfield gets the bad end of the stick. Let's see if we can go on board here. Let's go on board. Here's the gyro cam. Give the gyro cam a workout once again. There's the initial contact. You see that? Now, he could have checked up. He could have slowed down, but I don't think he was expecting the 25 machine to come up the racetrack like that. And just like a nicely flipped pancake, just ends up on his roof, sliding down in the dirt, and had to take a tow back to pit road. And I'm sure we will see him back out there on the racetrack once he has used one of his fast repairs. But he's going to have to wait for that tow to conclude. And he may lose a lap in it because the pace truck lights are off and Butterfield's still sitting in his pit box. Now, we do have an incident limit here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. That's another thing. You get 2 incident points for contact in the dirt cars, unlike the Road Series and the Oval Series in iRacing, where you get 4 incident points, per collision with a car. Here in the dirt cars, you only get 2 incident points for that. So it's a little bit more lenient, but I think 12 is the maximum limit here in the series. And if you get 12, your night is automatically done. Green flag is back in the air. However, as we race off into turn number 1, you see all the different drivers running the different lines. Look at the number 13, Oliver Golding, right up there on the top side. He's absolutely digging as they head off into turn number 3. Look at that number 13 getting really close to the outside wall. And I gotta keep an eye on that number 13 machine. I'm really liking the way he's attacking this racetrack, but also Jordan LaFawn in the number 11 as well. He's trying to find a little bit of grip, and from what I've seen out of Jordan LaFawn is if there's any driver in this field able to find a little bit of grip over the last couple of weeks, trying something a little bit differently, it has been the number 11 of LaFawn. So let's keep our eyes on him as, man, Golding all over the back bumper of the number 5 of Nicholas Lamb, and Lamb might have made a little bit of contact with the outside wall, and here comes Oliver Golding using the inside line. Can he pull a slide job? Not quite able to do so. There's contact between the 11 and the 5, and LaFawn and Nicholas Lamb get off of one another, and now, Merle Garing is in the wall going around. Caution flag is in the air, and man, they're still stacking them up. 73 of Justin Jones getting involved in that one. Folks, caution flag waving once again. Let's see if we can go back and see, because this one took a while to start. You see the initial contact right here between the 11 and the 5. Nicholas Lamb right there. Let's put it in this camera. There's the contact. There's LaFawn going down the racetrack, and they just kind of yo-yo back and forth with one another. Garing goes around the high line in the number 6, but watch LaFawn. LaFawn here going to drift up. He's on the slick side of the racetrack. When you see that kind of slick-looking groove, kind of looks icy almost, that is slick. And he slides up the racetrack straight into the side of the number 6, who gets put into the wall, and then the 10 comes out of nowhere, really nowhere for him to go straight into the number 6 of Garing, that of course being the number 10 of Dustin Lamb, and here comes the number 90, that is Anthony Karff. He's going to have to come to pit road. Kurt Burns able to squeak on through, then Caleb O'Gwyn in the 73 of Justin Jones. Let's see if we can get another look at that one in full speed to see if we can see just how that all looked, how that all went down here in the 3-wide TV replay at full speed. Let's see if we can go on board with the number. Let's see if we just stay in this camera with the number 6 machine in full speed. Just gets kind of stuck into the wall. And then here comes the 90 of Karff and straight into him. A couple of really torn up cars once again, and we are back under yellow. And I did mention it, that, that caution counter, we're going to have to keep an eye on that because some of these drivers might fall foul of that. We're on lap number 14 here tonight. Your top 4 drivers, Golding, who was able to take the race lead. I told you, folks, I really liked the way that number 13 was hugging that high line. And the way he was hugging that high line kind of made me believe that if that racetrack widened out a little bit, he'd be the one to watch out for. And of course, it was a little bit of beating and banging between the cars behind him. But Oliver Golding, definitely looking really strong tonight. I like his attitude and his demeanor. We'll see whether or not he can keep that going here. One driver I want to mention up there inside the top 3 right now, the top 4, excuse me, that is the number 98, Wade Burris. On the outside of row number 2 for this restart. He came into this feature race through the B main. And so far, so good for the number 98, already inside the top 5. He's picked up 6 positions from where he started. In fact, he is the biggest mover of the race so far. Pace truck headed down pit road, and we are back green racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Oliver Golding going to slide up the racetrack. Keep our eyes on Jordan LaFawn. LaFawn using that lower line once again. It's really slick down there. It looks like we're side by side for second now as Nicholas Lamb trying to go around the outside, but Rubbin's racing. He puts the side door to the number 5 machine, and Nicholas Lamb now under fire from Wade Burris. We just mentioned him. The number 98 machine, who has now picked up 7 spots from where he started here tonight. Great job by the number 98 machine. Lamb here going from 1st down to 4th in a couple of laps. Eric Bisline, and the 6th of Merle Garing having to come in together. They get things sorted out. Garing down there in the 9th position. Bad news for Anthony Karf is he's still off the racetrack in the number 90. Looks like he is just now coming back up onto the racetrack. As I say that, there is the Ice Cream Man coming back out there on the racetrack. He's going to need a couple of caution flags to get himself back onto the lead lap with an opportunity. But there is your race leader, Oliver Golding, as we have a look at some of the drivers in the field here tonight. Jordan LaFawn in the number 11 is trying his best to catch up to that number 13 machine, and is doing a pretty good job of it, staying right with them. All it will take is a small mistake by the number 13 machine, and if that number 13 does make a mistake, LaFawn will be there to pounce, and we've seen LaFawn pounce late in the races here on 3-wide TV over the last couple of weeks. Just running right there with the number 13, but like I said, the way the number 13 is really attacking these corners, getting up there, up into that cushion. Now, you know, I mentioned it earlier that you don't often want to jump the cushion, but he's found something up there. Maybe there's a buildup of dirt such that he can kind of ride up it, and there's a little bit more banking such that he can get a little bit more turn out of that number 13. I don't know. Whatever the case, it's working for the number 13 right now, and he is one of the fastest cars out there on the racetrack lap after lap. Wade Burris in the third position. He's being quickly caught by the number 5 of Nicholas Lamb. Last time by, Lamb was just a little bit faster than him. And just looking at the lap times out of the drivers up here at the front of the field, and let me just kind of change it, because I can change it up there at the top of the screen. You can see your top four right now: a 17.973, a 17.966, an 18.093, and a 17.979. Very similar lap times out of your top four currently. They're all running very, very identical lap times. That's going to make it hard to pass, because Nicholas Lamb here, he's going to have to pull the slide job, not able to pull it off that time. He's going to have to go back to work. You can see he tried that slide job, couldn't make it work, and he lost a lot of positions because of it. Or not positions, but a lot of track position because of it. Merle Garing, the fourth, has actually worked his way back up into the fifth position. We missed him making moves on Kurt Byrne, Jason Butterfield, and company. There is the battle for the sixth position right now between Burns and Butterfield. We've seen a lot of pace out of the number 93 machine, but Butterfield here really has to start backing up his corners, try and find that grip, be really patient on the throttle. I say you have to be patient on the throttle. You guys don't quite realize, if you never raced one of these dirt cars, throttle is 90% of the battle with these things. Yeah, you see them working on the wheel, but it's all that throttle control that really leads to the steering input. If you kind of get up there and put on the throttle a little bit too much, you get a little bit too much yaw in your car, and all of a sudden you lose a lot of momentum. So that throttle control really is in tandem with that steering input, and as the racetrack slicks up, like what you're seeing down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, as we have a side-by-side battle up here. This is between the 5 and the number 98, and Nicholas Lamb putting Burris into the wall right there. Burris gonna have to bounce off of it, and you can see he's lost his front end, so that's gonna be a loss of a little bit of downforce. And with the speeds that they're running here tonight, downforce is somewhat important. Downforce and side force are usually what you talk about when you come to these dirt tracks, especially the high-speed dirt tracks. Side force is one of those things that you don't often see, but because these cars get so yawed out, you want to have a very flat right-hand side. You want a lot of surface area on the right-hand side of your car, and you make it so flat so it kind of ends up being its own brake. And at the same time, you can really get the forces acting on the side of the car to get it to turn. It acts on the centroid of the car, the center of gravity, and really helps you get around the corner as fast as you can. It works as a to stabilize as well as help push the car to the left. It works both ways. And you see that number 98, he's now lost a little bit of that front end downforce, so that will probably affect the way that car starts to drive as Merle Garing is starting to close in. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, you're not missing a whole lot. It's still single file between the 13 of Golding and LaFawn. I think LaFawn just waiting for that opportunity out of the back of the number 13 as we close in on the halfway mark. Caution flag, however, has come out. Let's see if we can see what happened here, hearing that Justin Jones and Dustin Lamb might have had a little bit of coming together. There's the number 25 of Caleb O'Gwin there, and O'Gwin catches the wall. Is that going to bring it out? No, it will not. The 73 right there of Justin Jones. Oh, a little bit of nudge. I think Jones might have tried to pull the slide job, and unfortunately for Jones, he's going to end up on the wall. Is the 10 going to give him a nudge? No. The 10 says, no, buddy. I'm not going to help you out there. No, no, no. So Justin Jones and Dustin Lamb here getting the bad end of the stick. Let's see if we can get this one from the blimp cam. This might just give us a little bit better indication of how this all shook down. Watch the number 73. He comes up the racetrack, gets sideways. Might have got on the throttle a little bit too hard. And man, I don't know if there was any contact with the number 25. There might have been just a little bit, but he got so yawed out, got so sideways, comes down the racetrack straight into Dustin Lamb, and those two cars getting pretty heavily involved. And you can see that number 73 looking towards the sky, somehow, some way, able to get it back on the dirt. You see him back it up, and there he goes. So that is going to get us back under green. Now, we did have pit stops for Oliver Golding. The number 13 machine came down to take on some fuel, we're hearing. So Oliver Golding will probably relinquish the lead here in the number 13 machine. Interesting call right here on the halfway mark. Tires here, if you can take them without losing a lap, and you can actually, because of the fact that in this dirt series, caution flag laps don't count. Tires do matter, especially when the racetrack does start to slick out like it is doing. You can see that dark strip there on the bottom side of the racetrack, which is different than the dark strip at the top side of the racetrack, and kind of that light color that's right below that dark brown. The light brown's where you kind of want to be. That's where the grip is, and that's what we're seeing a lot of people running. But as you can see, the racetrack is starting to narrow up on the top side. And when it starts to narrow up quite a bit, and if it slicks up on that top side, then it's pretty much a fair game. Anywhere on the racetrack, it's about equally as slick. So we'll just have to see if that happens here in the final 40 or so laps as we are closing in on the halfway mark. Not quite there yet. We'll be there in about 5 or 6 laps time once we do go back green. Currently being scored with, I'm seeing 10 cars on the lead lap. Caleb O'Gwin in the number 25. He's pulled off the racetrack. So not sure what has happened to the number 25 machine. Checking to see if there's been any notifications for Caleb O'Gwin, just saying that he had to take a tow back to pit road. So Caleb O'Gwin's night might be over. Eric Bisline, his night appears over in the number 92 machine, so second place in points. Championship implications for Eric Bisline here. Not looks like he's going to be able to finish, and no opportunity to walk away with the championship here tonight. Green flag is in the air once again. Jordan LaFawn has inherited the race lead with the number 13 of Oliver Golding going down pit road. But let's go on board here with the number 13 machine on the fresher, might be on fresh tires. I'm not exactly sure, but he's to the high line right now of Jason Butterfield. He's going to get himself now up into the 5th position. You see him running that line that he has definitely found here tonight to be very, very pacey. It worked for him to get to the race lead, but we saw Jordan LaFawn all over the back bumper of this number 13 machine just a little while ago. So I'm just wondering, maybe, just maybe, the number 11 of LaFawn can check out just a little bit. We're looking out back of that number 11 right now as he heads through turn number 4 onto the front stretch right now. Wade Burris, who transferred in from the B main, now up into the 2nd position. How awesome is that here tonight, folks? That you can transition in from the B main and get up into 2nd. That number 98 digging here tonight. Merle Garing, good recovery for the number 6 machine. He's back up into 3rd. We saw him have some troubles after he was put into the outside wall. Side-by-side battle back behind him. That's Oliver Golding and Nicholas Lamb. We've seen those two have some Rubbins Racing situations here tonight, but looks like Golding going to take that spot on potentially fresher tires. If not fresher tires, definitely on more fuel. But, oh, man, look at that slide down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. And, folks, that's what I was telling you. It's really slick down there. You can get really yawed out. Wade Burris in the number 98, he's going to try that low side of the racetrack, but I just don't think this is the opportunity to do it. I think you have to wait just a little bit longer for that top side to start to give up, for that low line to really come in. Of course, as I say that, Wade Burris able to hold on to that second position as he's getting a bump from the number 6 Garing, saying, beat, beat, baby, I'm coming on through. Just giving a little bit of a nudge to the back end of Burris's machine. But now you start to play a defensive game, because if you're Burris, you don't want to give up second. But at the same time, if you're the number 6 of Garing, you don't really want to put yourself in a situation where you might end up losing positions to the cars behind. As the number 98 here through turn number 3 and 4, he's not going to be able to come up in front of Garing, and Garing here still holding fast to that high line. I like what Garing is doing, but he's getting pushed by the number 13 of Oliver Golding. Golding going to slide it down to the inside now. He's going to try the inside line. He's seeing what Burris is doing, and he's going to see if he can find a bit of grip right there. LaFawn loving what he's seeing out back. Granted, he can't see. He doesn't have a rear view mirror, but I'm sure he's aware that he's pulling away now to a 2-second or so advantage over Oliver Golding, who was leading the race prior to that last caution flag. But up from first to second, that gap is about 1.4 seconds. See if we can figure out, however, Burris is running that inside line, doing a good job of it now. And you can see he's running so low on the racetrack as Golding and, Garing and the 6 and the 13 having it coming together. And that's going to give the spot to Nicholas Lamb. How about that? Let's see if we can pick up that one on the 3-wide TV replay as Garing's gone into the outside. Oh, my goodness. I wonder if that was a little bit of, hey, buddy, I'm not all too big a fan of that. There was definitely some contact here. There's contact between these two. And I think the 6, Garing, gets into the 13 there. And as the 6 just goes down, bottom side of the racetrack, pushes up straight into the 13, says, you know what, buddy? I wasn't all too fond of that. Puts the number 13 in the wall. But the 6 right there getting also clobbered by Butterfield. My, oh my, folks. I think a little bit of short track temper coming out here. Let's see if we can put this one into slow motion. And I think we might just need to back this one up just a little bit more, because I want to see where this original contact initiated between these two. Yeah, we're going to put it into slow motion. You see the 13 all over the back of the number 6 as they go off into turn 1. The 6 is sideways. The 6 kicks really sideways there, and the 13 kind of gets into him. And I got to say, this is great driving out of these two to kind of just, yeah, they get together. But I think the number 13 might have just said, you know, I'm going to try and give you as much space as I can. The 6 gets up into the 5 as Lamb, they're able to save his machine. The 6 bounces back down. They just play a game of bouncy ball down the backstretch. Pretty much a game of bouncy ball all the way from turn 1 to turn 4 on this particular lap. The 13 slides up the track here. You can see he's in that slick down portion of the track. The 6 comes up, and the 6 just puts him in the wall. That is a door check if I've ever seen one. And the 13 goes into the wall pretty heavy. And then Merle Garing here gets into the wall himself. And then Butterfield, who's trying to sneak on through this mess, will play at full speed. Just bam! Right into the side of the number 6 machine. And I wouldn't be all surprised if all of those cars are going to have to come down pit road under this caution to use a fast repair. But in this caution, Jordan LaFawn is still your race leader, as we're now into the back half of the race here tonight, here on 3-Wide TV. Thank you for joining us here in the Illicit Design Dirt Circuit. 30 laps to go when the green flag drops, or so. Just under 30 laps to go. Let's go check out the chat. Backwoods Gaming in the chat here tonight. Let's see if we can. We do have someone in the chat in the booth with us, man. I have not missed that. Hey, Travis, Peter Short, you got a copy?
I do got a copy. How you doing tonight?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, thanks for joining us here. We got about 30 laps to go. We've seen a lot of action out there. I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing well, man. Just watching some good racing. I'm pretty sad that I had to miss this tonight because of work, but I'm in here now, so I'm watching my buddy LaFawn do his job, man.
Yeah, well, of course, we got Jordan LaFawn in the chat as well, and he's saying there might be too many cars between us now. But he's up front, up there, you know, in that number 11 machine. And like you said, he's doing work in his race car. Got out to a pretty big lead there a little while ago. I'm sure he's not all too happy to see the caution flag come out. What do you expect to see out of the number 11 as the pace car heads down pit road?
I'm hoping I see him on victory lane tonight. He's, what, 4th in points, I think. I hope that he wins it, and I know he's pretty fast, so he's coming up there, and he's already getting a gap on him.
Well, unfortunately, we have a car upside down in turn number 1. It was Wade Burris in the number 98. We are back under caution, did not even make it one turn, and we're going to have to see what happened here. It all happened right up at the front of the field here, and let's see if we can slow this one down for the viewers back at home, because this is definitely going to be an interesting thing here. And I'm going to be able to share my screen with you, Travis, so you'll be able to see what's going on kind of on my end. But it looks like the number 98 gets in the wall all by himself and just kind of wall rides it, gets down into Butterfield maybe, but there's nowhere for the number 10 machine to go. And unfortunately for the 10 of Dustin Lamb, just launches the number 98 machine into the wall, and then he gets pole vaulted into the air by the number 6, and the number 98 doing some breakdancing in the catch fence. That is a tough scene.
That was definitely tough for him. I'm hoping that he gets his toe and get back out there too.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these drivers here tonight, of course, use that fast repair and get back out there on the racetrack. And, you know, this is a relatively new league. There's some drivers in this league who haven't got a whole lot of dirt experience. You know, a lot of different drivers with different talents out there and just trying to feel for this dirt. And I think that's one of the cool things about this league, and a lot of the things that I've learned from the admins is, you know, you guys are out there to have a good time and have a lot of fun. And yeah, sometimes, you know, things get a little bit heated, but at the same time, priority number 1 is just to go out there and have fun.
Oh, definitely, man. We always try to have fun and keep it clean. We always welcome new people to come in here that really don't start a league. We bring in new members and we'll teach them. You know, to me, we seem like a big family.
Yeah, definitely has been a lot of communication back and forth on the Discord. It seems like there's always someone saying, hey, this race is going up in 15 minutes. You guys want to come race it with me? You know, different races throughout the week. And Season 2's upcoming as well. There's, you know, discussion about Season 2 signups. If you're interested in signing up for the Illicit Design Dirt Circuit, make sure you check them out. I'll see if I can get a link to the Discord. And, of course, a lot of Discord links don't last all too long. But it seems like you will be able to get a part of this series. And if you're interested, you can reach out to us here on 3YTV, and we can put you in contact with the right people as well. But let's see also, before we go back, well, we'll go back green here. We'll also see if we can get a word with Chris Westerhausen here in just a little bit. We do have a Google, I'll get the Google Docs. There's a link to the Google Docs. Travis, you just sent that to me, and we'll get that. Of course, if you're an iRacer yourself, you can go on to the league's page and find it. I've also posted it into the chat, and I will post it right now in the description of the video here tonight if you're interested in signing up for Season 2 of the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. But we are back green here, Travis, and it is Jordan LaFawn leading the number 93 of Jason Butterfield, who has had a little bit of resurgence here late and had a little bit of luck with these last couple of cautions. He's now back up to second.
Yeah, he is. But Jordan LaFawn's looking fast. I hope 93 can catch him or stay up with him. He had a little bit of incidents. Number 93, he's been hitting the wall a couple times, but he's looking pretty fast right now.
Yeah, but we have a car going around in the back, and it is the number 5 of Nicholas Lamb making contact. We saw that there on that 3-wide TV replay. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here. Going back, watching this replay, Anthony Karff in the number 90 machine might have made a little bit of contact with the number 13 machine down the front stretch, and then coming through turn number 2, I think, unfortunately, the number 90 pushed up the racetrack a little bit as Nicholas Lamb doing his best Monster Jam 2-wheel impression there, coming to a halt, but luckily it looks like the damage on that one quite minimal, and we will be back under caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Probably one of the smaller accidents of the night, but here comes Jordan LaFawn on pit road, and Travis, I gotta think maybe he's coming down to get fuel in his 358.
Yeah, he must be getting fuel or new tires. Or I know I heard him say that he's going to run out of fuel, so maybe he's stopping there to get some gas. But let's hopefully that he can pull up back up there. Battlefield's in the lead now, so let's hopefully one of these two guys can win it tonight.
Yeah, and he's definitely getting fresh tires on that number 11 machine as well. So kind of getting the full service on that car. Hopefully that crew can get it all serviced before we go back green here in just a little bit. Of course, he's not going to lose any laps because caution laps do not count here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Let's see if we can drag someone else up here into the 3-wide TV booth. Let's see here. Where is Chris Westerhausen? Chris, Peter Short, 3-wide TV booth. You got a copy? Let's see if we can dial him up one more time. We tried earlier. Chris Westerhausen, Peter Short, 3-wide TV booth. You got a copy? Well, you know what? We'll just leave Chris in the booth. We'll just leave him in the booth. And
I'm here.
Hey, there you are, Chris. How's it going? A lot of action here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And I got to say, right now, things are really shuffling throughout the field. We got about 25 laps to go when we go back green. What are you expecting to see here in the closing 25 laps?
I don't know. It's going to be a race between, I think, Wade Burris, Jordan LaFawn, and Jason Butterfield.
Yeah, Butterfield. Go ahead.
I was just saying they all look fast tonight.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of drivers seemingly very, very close on pace. We were highlighting there about 15, 20 laps ago that everyone inside the top 4 were running all within a tenth of one another. And that speaks to the competition level out here, Chris. In this particular series, it seems like they can't really get away from one another.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with this series. I mean, it really took off towards the middle of the season.
Yeah, and just quickly for the folks back at home, what do you guys have in store? Do you have anything in store yet for Season 2? I know there's a lot to kind of develop here over the next couple of weeks. Yeah,
I have an announcement coming later this week on the Discord, and I'll be posting links for sign up on our Facebook page, which is iRacing Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit.
Well, folks, make sure you check that out here. Green flag coming back out in the currently. We're 4 wide on the front stretch. Contact Kurt Burns, and it looks like the number 5 of Nicholas Lamb having together. And unfortunately, Anthony Karff has gone around. Is that going to bring out a caution flag? It has not yet. So we stay green in all of that madness, guys. That was crazy, but we're going to stay green. So green flag stays out in the air. Jason Butterfield is your race leader. Oliver Golding has got himself back up to second. And remember, Golding made a pit stop about 20 or so laps ago. He's on fresher tires than Jason Butterfield. Will bring up the current pit strategy for your front few drivers. Butterfield, he's been out there for 41 laps now. Golding has just been out there for not all too many green flag laps, so we know that he's got pretty good tires on the number 13 machine. He's all over the back bumper of the number 93 machine. Travis, I've really liked the way that number 13 has been attacking the corner. I keep saying it here on the broadcast, but he's attacking the corner a little bit too much, bumping and banging up at the front of the field.
Yeah, definitely. That number 13 is going really close to that wall. I don't know if all the dirt's up there from them sliding or what, but I would never ride that cushion. Every time I do, I run into that wall. But number 13 just seems to attack it just right.
So we're hearing possibly a caution flag has come out. We're hearing, the 6 and the 5 coming together. Luckily, looks like nothing but a flesh wound for those two cars. I spoke too soon. Nicholas Lamb having contact with, I think that was the number 90 of Anthony Karf, just trying to scoot on through. But caution flag is going to be back in the air. They'll have to come down and use those fast repairs once more, guys. Chris, unlimited fast repairs, it seems like, in this series, and a lot of drivers making use of them tonight.
Well, during the regular season, I give them one fast repair, which is usually a 40-lap race. And then for this one, I gave them 2 fast repairs because it's 75 laps.
So definitely a lot of drivers using those fast repairs here tonight. It definitely seems like, those drivers who've able to save some of them, they have a little bit extra in the reserve. And I think Oliver Golding is one of those drivers who possibly has a fast repair save. So we know that number 13, he can kind of go for broke here in the closing laps. How important is it? We talk about this in other series that we broadcast, Chris. When it comes to saving and strategizing when to use that fast repair, how important is it to kind of wait to use that fast repair until you absolutely have to?
Well, depending on how rough the race is, I mean, it can be detrimental. I know when I use them, I don't like to use them unless I absolutely have to, like if I get a black flag for damage or something.
Yeah, we've seen, in other leagues where people use them possibly too early, especially, on the bigger tracks where there's a lot more speed, a lot more downforce, and especially like here tonight at Bristol. I mean, these cars are going to have a lot of side force, so you think possibly damage is going to be one of those things that you probably want to repair pretty soon. You don't want to race out there with a pretty heavily damaged car, especially with how fragile these 358 modifieds can be sometimes. Granted, you can smack them off the wall pretty good. But Travis, tell the fans back at home, I know you've got experience driving these 358s. Tell them how much fun they are to drive.
Oh man. These things are really fun. I'm going to clear this up in the air. In season 2, we're going to be running 358s, and then we're going to bring in big blocks some days. So that's going to be really fun. But these little cars right here are really fun. I have an amazing time, but they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, folks, if you run one of these things, you better hope the promoter brings a lot of money on the table as well each and every week, and hopefully you can pack the stand so the promoter can give you some cash to run them, because they are not cheap to run, and one night you can set you back quite a bit of money, because as you can see, they're not the most beastly machines out there when it comes to fragility. Green flag is back in the air. 22 laps to go here at Bristol in the season finale here in the Illicit Design Circuit. Jason Butterfield is your race leader. Oliver Golding in second. We saw the number 13 all over the back bumper, the number 93 that last time. Golding going to stay on the high line. We've seen him really prefer that line here tonight. Butterfield on the inside groove. Golding got a great run down the front stretch there, Travis, and almost pulled alongside with the number 93 machine. In fact, here he goes, side by side for the lead.
Oh, yeah. The number 13 and 93 is having a good battle side by side. It looks like 13 took the fast lane right here up top, and he's in first place. LaFon is taking middle. That's really slick right there. He needs to try to get up top and run that fast line.
Yeah,
it looks like Barris is blocking him pretty good. And Butterfield hasn't had a quick repair since he got into Merle like 15 laps ago.
Yeah, Butterfield up there, I've seen a little bit of right side damage on the number 93 machine. You can kind of see the scrapes. Merle Goring and the 11 of LaFawn there having a little bit of argy-barginess out of turn number 2. And now LaFawn puts the slide job on Goring. Goring doesn't appreciate that. They touch coming out of turn number 4, but looks like LaFawn able to hold on to that position. Here comes the number 11, and Travis, he is on fresher tires in that number 11.
Yes, he's definitely on fresher tires right now. Number 6, I don't think he's on that fresh of a tires. Number 11 should have a lot of grip up top. If he can stay out of that slick, I bet he could catch the leader at least coming 3rd or 2nd. He definitely has fresher tires on that.
Jason Butterfield has dropped down into the 3rd position. He just lost 2nd to Wade Burris. So, Chris, I think you were saying that Wade Burris was one of those drivers to watch out for, and he has now got himself back up into 2nd. How about that there, Chris?
Yeah, Wade runs a lot of series. He can drive just about anything and drive them well, so he's always a force.
The Burris to 2nd. Butterfield still holding on to 3rd. LaFawn had caught him, but they decided to get into it with one another there a little bit, a lap and a half or so ago. So let's keep an eye on this. This is the best battle for position right now up at the front of the field. Golding up over a 2nd on Burris for right now. 14 laps to go. LaFawn dropping it down to the low side of the racetrack. You can see how slick it is, not finding any grip, and slides right up in front of Goring. And Travis, we've seen a lot of slide jobs in effect here tonight as the racetrack looks really slick down there on the bottom side.
Yeah, that bottom side is very slick, and these slide jobs don't only work. As you see, 93 just tried to do a slide job, and he just got 2 sideways. Number 6 is on that wall.
Well, how about the 93? Man, I sometimes you just have to laugh at iRacing. The 93 of Jason Butterfield just got a free ride from Merle Goring up into the catch fence almost. That did not look pretty there, guys. Let's get a 3-wide TV replay of this one. There was initial contact between the 11 and the 93 going off into turn number 1. And the 93 gets up into the wall there. And the 6 and the 93, both they end up in the wall. The 6 ends up getting on 2 wheels into the catch fence. And then the 93 gets put onto his lid by Goring, and somehow ends up kind of half on top of the numbers, half inside, half on top. And then as they become detached, the 93 just gets thrown and launched up the racetrack. And Travis, I think it was you that was saying that the 93 didn't have a fast repairer left. And that is a really big hit for the number 93 there.
Oh, absolutely. I hope that he does have a fast repair. Chris, you can quote me. I think he does have 2 left. I think he hasn't used one yet, so he should be outside that track soon.
No, he does not have a fast repair. He's got over 5 minutes of repairs. And he said he's out. I think that damage finally caught up with him once Goulding got around him.
Man, that is a tough break for Butterfield here tonight. One really fast hot rod here at the world's fastest half mile, and you see him sitting on pit road. Nicholas Lamb also has been sitting on pit road. We missed the fact that your early race leader and winner of heat number 1 here tonight, Nicholas Lamb, looks like he will not make it back out to the racetrack. Looks like he will finish 9th. Jason Butterfield looks like he will finish 8th here tonight, as we are down to just 7 cars out there on the racetrack for the final 13 laps. Guys, it's starting to look a little bit like heat number 1 and heat number 2 with the amount of cars that we have out there. It's been a race of attrition, but we kind of knew that with it being one of the longer races. And Chris, what kind of went into the mindset here of running a little bit longer race for the season finale? A lot of leagues do that.
Well, I think what it is everybody gets used to running together, so you think that they can run together for a longer period and make it more exciting.
Well, they definitely have made it exciting for us here on 3Wide TV over the last couple of weeks here on 3Wide TV. And, of course, this is the season finale. Next week, we transition back over to the Total Nonstop Racing League on Monday nights as they start their season once again. So, nonstop action on Monday nights here on 3Wide TV. The Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit wrapping up their first season, and it won't be all too many months before we get to Season 2. And, Chris, just so the folks at home, we've talked about Season 2, but tell them when Season 2 will be starting.
So I'm thinking I'm going to start it in November because numbers have really dropped off through the summer with all the local tracks running and all of that. So I want to give everybody a chance to sign up ahead of time. That way we have a regular base of drivers and we don't have people just coming in on random races like we did the first season.
Yeah, and that is a fantastic call to do that. Meanwhile, out there on the racetrack, here comes Wade Burris. He's gotten to the inside of Oliver Golding. Great restart for the number 98 machine. Can he pull off the slide job? He really dives it off into turn number 3, finding a little bit of grip, trying to hook the bottom side of the racetrack. Can he pull up in front of Golding? No, he cannot. They're still side by side at the line. He almost cleared him, but Golding has been just so fast on that high line, just flirting with that cushion all night long. We're still side by side. I thought here, Travis, that the 98 had a chance of getting to the lead, but now I'm not all too sure as we're side by side once again. If they can stay side by side like this, Travis, for the next 10 laps, it's going to be a photo finish.
Oh, absolutely. All they need, 98 needs, is number 13 just go off of that cushion a little bit, and number 98 has them. And you also got LaFawn back there in third. We have 3 fast cars back here battling for first. So this is going to be a great ending. Just stick around and watch it, guys.
And we
it looks like Wade Burris got the lead here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like Burris has gotten to the lead because the caution flag came out. The 9 machine of Kurt Burns went around. A little bit of contact there with the number 6 of Garing. Oh, man, unfortunately, the number 90, who's been in the wrong place, wrong time here tonight a couple of times, Anthony Karff, there getting a piece of that. Seems like he's just been an innocent bystander on quite a few things here tonight. So let's see if we can figure this one out. Let's jump up to the blimp cam. Watch the number 9 machine get sideways, a little bit too sideways, lost that momentum, and nowhere for Garing to go there, Travis.
Oh, yeah. There's only one thing that you can do. These cars do not stop right on a dime. So if a car spins out in front of you, it's either you have somewhere to go or you're hitting them. And it could ruin the rest of your night.
Here we go on board with the number 90 of Karff. And Chris, Travis mentioned it. You really cannot stop these cars on a dime. You can get on the brakes, but sometimes getting on the brake is not the right thing to do. And unfortunately for the number 90 machine there, Karff, he had very few options.
Yeah, if you get on the brakes too hard, it's just going to spin you around. Those front tires seem to lock up a lot faster than the rear.
So that will put us back under caution here with 10 laps to go here on 3Wide TV for the season finale of the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. But a 10-lap shootout at Bristol, I don't think you could have asked for anything better than that at the world's fastest half mile. And I'll ask both of you guys. Dirt racing is awesome. Put on some of the best shows in the world with dirt cars week in, week out across the United States. I love it. I love grassroots racing. It's a lot of fun to go out and enjoy. But let's talk about the fact that NASCAR is trying to do some dirt racing now. And I know it's actually, in my mind, you got a lot of people for it. You have a lot of people against it. Let's start with you, Travis. Where do you stand on the NASCAR? Because for me, I'll just say, I think it's bringing exposure to real dirt racing, and I think that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. NASCAR trying to do dirt racing, it's just going to bring out another whole different story of the NASCAR racing. Me personally, I will never do NASCAR. I can't. I race dirt for a year now, and I try to do pavement once, and I just end up in a wall. It's just a whole different technique that you have to have.
And what about you, Chris? What are your thoughts on it?
I like that NASCAR is trying to bring it back to their roots. I mean, it touches base with the original fan base. I mean, racing started on dirt with the moon shining and all that, and to bring it back to the roots is just, it's going to be an amazing outcome, I think.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to them coming back next season, and hopefully they can build on what they have this season and maybe go, what about Knoxville? What about Eldora? There could be other tracks in the future as well for NASCAR, but we can see we have a single file restart this time. Wade Burris, as we're under 10 laps to go. Burris is going to lead the field here. And he used that inside line that he likes so much. Oliver Golding jumping up to the top side. And Jordan LaFawn, slightly fresher tires on the number 11. He's now creeping into the picture once again. Remember, he's led a decent number of laps here tonight in the number 11, as we're going to have just 8 laps to go, this time by Burris, Golding, LaFawn. Your top 3, Justin Jones in the number 73. How about him here tonight, silently creeping his way up there towards the front of the pack? He's going to lose the 4th position, it looks like here, though, to Merle Garing, who somehow still has a race car. It seems like Garing's been involved in a decent amount of scuffles here tonight, but let's jump up to the battle for the race lead once more, because Travis, the number 13, around that high line, he's got a good run here coming out of turn number 2.
Oh, absolutely. Number 13 looks fast as crap right now. He's gaining up on 98. I don't know how he's running that cushion so well. It's very slick at the bottom. 98's holding his line very well. This is going to be a photo finish right here, side by side.
5 laps to go this time by. They worked their way out of turn number 4, and Golding, who got a huge run on that top side that time by. Can he make it stick through turn number 1 and 2? And I think he's cleared him. Almost has cleared him. We'll see. I think just one more lap of that, Chris, and I think the number 13, but I take that back. The 98, big run through turn number 3 and 4, almost able to pull side by side, but Chris, I think that number 13, I think he's got it here.
Yeah, that top side, you just don't lose as much speed as you do on the bottom. And he gets that run coming out, and it's just eating Burris up.
So Golding to the race lead now as we click it off. 3 laps to go in the first season of the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Golding, Burris, LaFawn, your top 3. Garing in 4th, Justin Jones in 5th. This is the only battle for position right now. 2 laps to go, and Travis is going to have to take a big run for the number 98, or a mistake out of the 13 as the number 90 goes around, and caution flag comes out. Anthony Karff was stricken there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to driver of the number 90 to bring out this caution flag here. Let's see if we can bring, there we go, 3-wide TV replay. Hopefully you guys can see both of my screen. You can see what I'm showing here as, well, you couldn't see that for a second there. And oh, there's a little bit of contact there. The number 90 with a little bit of a, got sideways, and then Kurt Burns with a little nudge sending him around. It looks like the ice cream man, Anthony Karff, got back going. We saw him, we saw him go around again. So we were still green at this point. There was no caution flag waving just yet. So something must have happened, because we saw him go around a second time. Checking to see. Let's keep watching him here, because we're still green at this point. There's no cars around him at this moment in time. And I'm wondering if he just got into turn number 1 and 2. Oh yeah, got into turn 1 and 2 too hot. Gets stuck into the wall. And then look at your leaders creeping on by. That was close between the 13 and the number 90. But looks like Karff has pulled it to pit road here. And it looks like the number 90's night might be done. But I'll tell you what, Chris. The season looked like it was 2 laps from being over, but we got another restart here upcoming. And I'm just wondering what Burris is going to do. He's going to have to send it down there on the bottom line.
I think the race is over. I mean, they've run out of time. There was an hour allocated, and it's just ended just now. So I don't know if it'll let them run the last lap or not.
Oh, so let's just check that. Of course, our software doesn't always change over to the time. And you're right. That is it. Good call. Checkered flag is out. The number 13 of Oliver Golding will get to go to victory lane under caution flag here. 2 laps from the end, and that is one happy driver. Golding in the number 13 takes the win here at Bristol. And Travis, you mentioned it, was able to figure out that top line masterfully on that top line here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not understanding how he's running that cushion so well, but it worked in his favor, and he won it tonight. And I don't know the guy, but I congratulate him. Jordan Afon came in third at number 98. I think 98 would have got him on the low side if there was a green-white checker flag.
And he says, you know what, forget the time limit. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to run out the race anyway. Up there on the top side of the racetrack, coming down here, gonna park here right at the start-finish line, right next to your number 11, Jordan LaFawn. They're finishing up there towards the front of the field, and kablamo. That's one way to do donuts. Get absolutely turned into a top by Kurt Burns. Your top 3 finishers here gonna all park it on the front stretch. And, you know, Chris, looking back on the season, a lot of races and a lot of different faces. You mentioned that, and you kind of said, well, you know what, let's try and get it back to the winter months when you don't have the weekly series going on out there. You don't have people working on their race cars because, you know, race cars take a lot of time and effort. They really do. And hopefully you guys come roaring back in season 2.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we got a good group of guys. Hopefully they all come back. I mean, it's been really exciting for our first season, and I couldn't be happier with how things have turned out.
Yeah, definitely it is one really fun league to watch here on 3 Wide TV. Now, we do have some post-race interviews for you folks. Hopefully we can get the top 3 finishers up here into the 3 Wide TV booth. I'm not sure if you guys want to give a shout out to all the drivers out there on the racetrack right now and say, hey, get over into the channels here because we will get you a post-race interview. We do have, looks like Oliver Golding has joined us. So let's see if we can just jump straight into our race-winning interview with Oliver Golding. At least I hope this is Oliver Golding. It's OG. I'm just going to assume it is. Let's drag him up here into the 3 Wide TV booth. Oliver Golding, Peter Short, 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what. We up here in the 3 Wide TV booth were amazed with how you were able to figure out that cushion up there on the top side of the racetrack. You just had the car yawed out perfectly in the corner. You were really hopping over the cushion. And one thing I noticed earlier in the race, it looked like you were actually going over the cushion, finding a little bit of grip up there on the top side, maybe a little bit of buildup of dirt up there just to de-wedge the car a little bit, get it to turn. Tell us about you and your ways here at Bristol tonight.
Yeah, I knew when I entered the lobby, I was in practice, and I only got 10th in practice, and I was, a little bit discouraged. I thought that they were way faster than me. We did our first heat. I felt pretty confident. And then we worked our way through the field in the main. I knew the top over time was just going to be faster, so I just continuously ran it. And as you saw, it ended up working, so we were able to bring home the win.
Yeah, definitely a great way to round out the season here in the 358 Modifieds. Really speaks to your ability to get your way around a slick track. But, this is the first season in the books. There's going to probably be quite a little bit of time for season number 2. But are you looking at coming back for season 2 and looking to try and pick up some more wins?
Yeah, if I can get the money together to afford all the tracks and all that stuff, I'm definitely planning on it. I'm going to run the events that I can 100%. From this series, I've had a great time. It's been some awesome races. The guys are pretty aggressive, but that's what good dirt racing takes. And I feel like as the season goes on, it's just going to get better and better. We're going to get more people. It's going to be more competitive, and I'm going to have my work cut out for me.
Absolutely. Definitely. You do have your work cut out for you here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. It has been a lot of fun bringing all the people here on 3Y TV the last couple events. But Oliver, congratulations on the win here tonight at Bristol. Before we let you go, we're going to give you an opportunity to give out some shout outs. So let's hear them.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fox Shocks, Can-Am Off-Road, Raceline Wheels, Assault UTV, Seal Savers, Rugged Radios, Cognito, TWRP Seats, S3 Motorsports, Cooper Tire, Side by Side Unlimited, 808 Diesel, Parker Pumper, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win here tonight at Bristol. Definitely was a lot of fun watching you get the checkered flag here tonight. Hope to see you next season.
I will be here. Thank you, man.
All right. Well, that is tonight's race winner, Oliver Golding. Let's see if we can pick up the second place finisher, driver of the number 98 machine, Wade Burris. Wade Burris, Peter Short, 3 Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that number 98 machine, trying to find a little bit of grip all over the racetrack here tonight. You seemed like you were kind of stuck down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. What was it about that high line that you just didn't seem to quite be able to figure out, but you were really fast down there on the low line, and you kind of stayed in your lane, so to speak, down there all night long. Tell us about it.
Well, once it started getting rough up top, I had to move to the bottom because I didn't want to smack the wall, and that would have killed all the momentum here at this track. So that's why I went back to the bottom.
Well, you did, and it was a great watching you and Oliver kind of go back and forth. What did you think about that bottom there in the closing laps? Did you think it maybe went away from you a little bit more, or did you think maybe if you had some more laps it would come to you? What were your thoughts there over the closing laps?
I actually entered too hard twice and got a little too sideways, and it killed my momentum. Or else I probably could have held on to it.
Well, all it takes is just a little bit, because you guys are on edge every single lap here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit, and you have been all season long. Tonight is the season finale. Season 2 is off looming in the distance. A lot of the drivers makes it sound like a really good community. Tell us about your place in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit and whether or not we'll see you in Season 2.
Oh, I'll definitely be back for Season 2. I didn't get into the 358s here until I think just last week was the first one I ran. And I'm having a lot of fun. This is great. I can't wait for Season 2 now.
Well, folks, if you haven't joined the Discord here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit, it is quite active, and people throughout the whole week saying, hey, this race is coming up, let's go do it together, and really seems like a really good group of people. Wade, great to have you a part of these last couple of races here in the 358 Modifies, but before we let you go, any shout-outs?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my teammates on Newfound Glory, Team NFG, Chris for hosting these races. It's fantastic, and give a shout out to my own business, WB Creative, for all your rap needs.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it.
Definitely hitting you up.
That's going to do it for our third place interview of Wade Burris. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we have tonight's second place finisher in the chat. That is, of course, Jordan LaFawn, so we'll have to see whether or not Jordan can come up here. But let's see if we can get you, Chris, and Travis, just kind of as a retrospective here on the session. Sorry, Chris, I think I dragged you in here possibly with a hot mic. But just kind of wanted a quick retrospective on the season. Chris, at the beginning of the year, what were your goals for the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit to get through Season 1?
Basically just wanted to get an establishment. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of expectations because iRacing is such a huge community and there's so many leagues. So, I mean, I just wanted to get a good base of guys that wanted to learn and have fun and race each other hard.
Well, I think that you did. Definitely, we've seen that hard racing over the last couple of weeks, and I know, a lot of people watching might only know that the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit does the 358s, but you guys don't. You do the limited modifieds. You do a lot of other things. And Travis, where is this group right now versus where it was at the beginning of the season for you?
I joined a couple about a couple months ago, and I asked Chris if he needed help running the league because I wanted to help and learn and everything like that. In season 2, I'm going to be taking over the 358. So we got a lot of new things coming in. This league, when I joined, was very small. And then it just blew up overnight. I don't know what happened, but everybody was talking about us like in a good way and stuff like that. And our biggest races are 358s, and Chris loves racing street stocks. So, and I said, well, I'll take over 358s and let you race your street stocks.
Well, there you go. Definitely things in store for season 2 already here in the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. Thank you both for joining us. Definitely has been an awesome season. It doesn't look like Austin Kroger was in the race here tonight, but by my math, Austin Kroger will be walking away with the Season 1 358 Modified Season Championship. So big shout out to Austin Kroger, although he's not out there on the racetrack here tonight. Anthony Karff joining us in the chat here tonight. Thanks for joining us, Anthony. Tough break for you here tonight. Broke Steery, Foxy LaFawn, thanks for joining us. Jordan LaFawn, and everyone else here on 3 Wide TV. Guys, thanks for having us on the channel. We loved having you and enjoyed watching all of your races here over the last couple of weeks. So hopefully you can go back and watch them over the next couple of weeks until season 2 begins. Chris, I know that's off in the future. And any final thoughts, Chris?
Well, actually, Eric Beislein took the championship.
Oh, did he? He was able to knock off Kroger, eh?
Yeah, 503 to 492 on points.
Well, there you go. My math was not wrong, or it was not right, I should say. I looked and I thought, man, it'd be pretty much impossible without winning. But my oh my, last race drama for Eric picking up the championship.
I think he got the bonus points for winning that consolation race that I didn't know was going to run.
Well, there you go. That's all it took for Eric to walk away with a championship. Wow, can you believe that? That final race, it all comes down to that. How about that for season number 1?
That's incredible. So I have a little teaser for season 2. We're going to do a mixed series for all of our open setups, and it'll just bounce between the big block modifieds, the pro and super late models, the 410 and 360 wing sprints, the UMPs, and the street stocks.
Well, there you go, folks. If you're interested in running some dirt, how about running them all in one way or another? That sounds like a lot of fun, and to get out there, get your hands dirty, and get to do something a little bit different, and probably different than what other leagues are doing right now. So, Chris, that sounds really awesome to run next season and get some exposure with all of the cars, because they're all raced a little bit differently. That's they all have certain parallels because they're all running on dirt, but it's going to be a lot of fun changing from the big blocks over to the wing sprints and that. So we're really looking forward to hearing how that goes next season.
Yeah, it should be a blast.
Well, guys, I think that is just about going to do it. Let me go through tonight's final race results. Oliver Golding walked away with the race win over Wade Burris, 0.6 of a second ahead was Golding. LaFawn going to come home in third. That rounds out your top 3 finishers. Justin Jones in the number 73. Quiet night for him, but he was able to squeak out a 4th place finish quietly. Kurt Burns was involved in a couple of incidents. He comes home in 5th. Merle Garing going to finish in 6th. Not sure what happened there to Merle there in the closing laps, but Anthony Karff going to finish in 7th. He had broken steering at the end. Nicholas Lamb in the number 5. He led early in the race here tonight, but unfortunately for him, he ends 10 laps down. Jason Butterfield finishing in 9th, 12 laps down. Dustin Lamb in 10th in the number 10 machine. How about that? 27 laps down. Caleb O'Gwyn, 42 laps down. Eric Bisline comes home 12th place tonight, but walks away with the series championship in some late race drama by winning the B main here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. How about that? Getting in some extra bonus points and on route to the series championship. I'm sure he will be over the moon with that result. And Jeremy Folkerts, he had some connection issues at the beginning of heat number 2, and unfortunately those connection issues did not rectify themselves, and he did not start the A main here tonight. That's going to do it for the final race of the championship here for the Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit. If you're interested in joining them, there is a link in the description to the Google form to sign up for Season 2. You can also sign up for the league and apply on iRacing's league page. And there is also a Facebook page. And Chris, really quickly, what is that Facebook page for all the people looking out there to join the league here tonight?
It is iRacing Illicit Designs Dirt Circuit.
All right, folks. Well, I'll go out there. I'll find it. I'll put a link in the description as well, so you don't miss that. A lot of fun here. Big shout out to our friends over at SimTV. And folks, don't forget, this week on 3YTV on Wednesday night, we have the oldest iRacing league. That is the oldest iRacing league still running. The American Sim Racing Series Hacksaw PC's Premier Cup Series on Wednesday night before switching over to the National Sim Racing Association Super Speedway Series brought to you by GTR Simulators on Thursday night, and then the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series right here on Friday night this week on the channel. And then starting next Monday, the Total Nonstop Racing League Grand National Series kicks off once again for their 2021 B Series. But for myself, Peter Short, and everyone here on 3YTV, have a good night, stay safe, and we shall see ya!